Now we got to talk about this because I knew that there was a really good chance of this happening, a greater chance than the Justin Gaethje fight, even because Ilia is so damn good, and we're going to talk about that. But regardless, to see Max Holloway get KO'd is going to break a lot of hearts, drop a lot of jaws. It dropped my jaw, even though in the beginning I was like really worried, but my worries started to subside. We're going to talk science extremely soon. Hit that notification bell, hit the like button, get down in the comment section. Most importantly, tell me your thoughts on this. Now let's talk. For one, this right here was the beginning of the end. Max steps in to stump on that thigh, mess with that leg, and then he sees that it's successful and he tries to follow up. And then there's this little moment right here where they're looking at each other and Ilia's like, oh, and there's this recognition, and we're going to talk about why that's important. But at first, when this fight started off, I was like, why is Max looking off? To me, he was looking slow, and Ilia was catching up with him quite easy. But then once in the beginning I was like, Max is about to get knocked out. He was looking real off. But then once Max started to find his rhythm and started to establish a jab at the end of the first round and into the second round, I said, okay, now we have a fight. And the thing about Ilia is, in order to stop him or even slow him down, you got to deal with his feints. He's masterful with the feints, the step in feints, the feinting with the hands. He's constantly testing the waters to see your reaction, but also to cultivate a rhythm. And Ilia's boxing is, I think I've said this in the past video covering the Alexander Volkanovski fight. I think I've called him the best boxer in the UFC. If I didn't, that was a missed opportunity, because boxing is what I look at. So my eyes are naturally tuned to see that just how damn good this dude is with the jab, the counters, the footwork, the feints, the precision, and the technique of his punches, which that not a lot of UFC fighters have that either. But he just has a real tight and just well structured boxing approach to his striking. No one has a carryover of boxing skills that Ilia does, nowhere near to the degree that he does. And you see the difference between MMA fighters that can box well in MMA versus an MMA fighter that can just box, right? With all due respect to Max Holloway and Justin Gaethje and Alexander Volkanovski, his hands are different, Ilia's hands. Now, Max started finding success when he was constantly interrupting Ilia's rhythm, resetting him with the jab, and then he would follow up with the right hand and throw some body kicks. And I think the body kicks were crucial. I think he was starting to slow Ilia down, honestly. And even if you want to say that Ilia won the second round, which who cares, right? Even if you want to say that, the trajectory of the fight was starting to look bad for him, because at the end of that second round, you saw him breathing a little bit heavy. Now, breathing heavy in the second round of a Max Holloway fight is one of the least ideal scenarios you can picture in the UFC. But here's how you know Ilia's a special fighter, if you don't already know that based off the results of the Volkanovski fight, right? He comes out into the third round, and they're both building off of what they've been doing, and Max sees that lead leg stump that he was using. Now that's useful because he's catching Ilia stepping in, and obviously Ilia's offense is built off of him closing the distance because he's like 5'0". So he's attacking that lead leg, and he sees that it's successful, and they both notice it. But the thing is, Ilia is like, oh shit, I gotta do something. Whether or not he won the second round, he knew that he was already starting to breathe heavy. And he knew when Max saw that weakness in the leg, that Max was gonna start turning up the pressure. And so Ilia was aware of this, and he rushes to get the KO. He YOLOs it, he crashes out. I think I got to the perfect moment right here. But look at, yeah. You see the right hand, he just steps in full foot off the ground. This Max whole head contorts. You see his face. He is like frozen in time right there. But yeah, Max gets rocked right there. You can see his legs. Ooh. That's like when Dustin caught him. But at that point, it was all downhill from there, as it usually is. Yeah, but the thing is, so there's two things that make this finish special. One is what I was describing, which is that Ilia notices that it's getting bad for him and instantly decides, okay, I got to do something, which a lot of fighters don't have that mentality, obviously. But the second part that's just as important is he has the skills to back it up. So he's willing to crash out, but he has the skills to not just completely destroy himself, and he actually gets the job done. He puts it all on the line, rushes in, right hand rocks him, follows up, catches up to him, I think somewhere around here, and then they're kind of exchanging, and then boom, that left hook. He has a nasty left hook. He has a nasty everything, if we're being honest. Catches up to him, closes the distance, and the way he gets leverage on that left hook, just boom. Look at the force, right? So he follows up, he finishes the fight in, you know, about 30 seconds, and he see it that was all because of that stump to the leg, where he realized, okay, I gotta do something about that. Again, I thought Max was actually starting to build some success, but I think Ilia thought that is wrong. Ilia made a very, very scary statement to the rest of the division, because what he just proved is it doesn't matter who you are. You could arguably have the best pound for pound chin in the organization. You could be up 4 rounds. All it takes is one from him and he will hunt you down. So no one is safe. People say Max Holloway probably has the best chin in the UFC. I say Marvin Vettori, and I was saying that before this, but still, Max Holloway does have one of the best chins in UFC history. Doesn't matter. So y'all can live with that. I'm out. On to the analysis.